Kicking off our 6th season of Inspirational Women Series while counting down the weeks till International Women's Day on March 8th, we have the pleasure to welcome in our studios Yara Nassar and Ruba, Zarour, the lead actresses in Philippe Araktanji's new movie, Listen, now in theaters across Lebanon. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
So I got the chance to watch this movie, which I really loved. Like I was telling you before the newscast, it was different than what Philippe Araktanji's done and what a lot of directors have done, because it was a love story or love stories, and it's a change from the war movies that we're used to. So what attracted you ladies to this role? Let's start with you, Yara.
First of all, I agree. It's really also a big statement to choose during this time to make a movie about love. And personally, I really enjoyed the whole process of meeting Philippe and hearing his vision of how he wants to develop this film. And I really loved the character I'm playing, because it's like a character that has a metamorphosis throughout the film, and I love the transformation.
You play the older sister to Ruba's character,
yes.
Who falls, are we allowed to say, falls in a coma?
Yeah.
And,
well,
we didn't ruin the
major
movie yet.
spoiler.
No, major spoiler alert. So you play her older sister, and she goes from one thing to another.
Yeah, and there's a really subtle remark about this character, that the audience actually sees her through the eyes of the other character, the male character of the film, which is Rude. So we see the transformation of Marwa through also the vision of the other people around her, and I think that's quite interesting as a transformation.
Right, and Ruba, so as I was saying, you play her younger sister.
Yes.
It's also a love story there with, we're not going to spoil it, but tell me a little bit about your character and what attracted you to this role.
Philippe approached me with the script, and I casted for the role initially, and I liked the character because she was very close to, she was familiar. And it was interesting to play someone who was like close to my character, but yet it was very difficult to like make her look very natural and have like these different characteristics like in her. At the same time, Rena in the movie is very like, she's a rebel. She likes like just nightlife.
What was the biggest challenge playing Rena?
The biggest challenge playing Rena? It was all a challenge, but like the love scene as an actress for the first time was a challenge. It was a challenge because people tend to look at it and say, "Oh my God, it's a love scene." But for us as actors, it's very technical, and you're doing all of this with.
I want to talk a little bit about that, because I think people make a bigger deal when it's an Arabic production, maybe.
Sure.
And they're an Arab woman. We're going to get to that, and you know, and there are sexual scenes, although they were very tastefully done, if I may say so myself. But what was the reaction when people saw the movie? I know you were in Dubai, and there was. Were there mixed reactions? Because Ruba was telling me earlier on, it was mostly positive. At least when they were in front of her, they were positive.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's also a positive feedback from a lot of people. People are saying it's about time. Also, we see that part of the life of the young generation, of the way life is lived also here. But the thing is that what I find really striking is how much skin is associated with shame. And this really, for me, is a bit a challenge at the Q&A when people are approaching me with this, like, it's shameful, and I find it
What's your response to them when they say that to you?
I find it a bit critical that people find skin and the exposure of the body shameful, and there's so much to be shameful about in our area, so much violence, so much death, so much. There's no more respect. We just see, like, really dead bodies on the TV. We don't react. And I'm so surprised that people have such a strong reaction when they see a love scene or a body exposed.
Do you think that it's like that also because you're a woman, that if a male is taking off his shirt or something, we don't get the same reaction. And it's interesting. I know we were talking a bit about this before the newscast. I was telling you that Reese Witherspoon, a renowned Hollywood actress, was complaining that even in Hollywood, women still struggle to get lead important roles that have nothing to do with just being cast as a sexual being or a sidekick. So how has it been for you breaking into the industry as Lebanese women into the acting industry, here and abroad?
Well, it's a bit different in film than in theater, and as we were talking before.
Because you have a theater background.
Yeah, and in theater, I also make my own work, so I find that I have more control to produce my own work, even though it's very hard financially and everything. But when I work collaboratively with international artists, then I get the chance to produce my own work. And of course, as when you're also, I love to act. People stop approaching you also. As an actor, they think, oh, you're doing your own work, but it's not the case. I'm an actress originally, you know, and that's what I love to do most. So it's very hard to, there aren't enough roles, there aren't enough films, but I think we're getting better.
We're getting
there's more stuff.
Baby steps.
And you know, you both have had experience abroad in training. I know you did method acting with Lee Strasberg. I know Daniel Day-Lewis is very well known for method acting. And you also got training in Los Angeles. How do you compare the Los Angeles acting industry to here? Which is it's a struggle for an actor.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, but in LA they've got like it's a different system. You know, in Lebanon you haven't gotten all these like workshops and acting studios where you can go study acting and become a professional actress, unless like you do it like Yara did it. Like if you're
theater based.
Yes.
Yeah.
In LA, for me, because I studied film and I was working in production. So I was working on the side while taking my workshops and doing my thing. And for me, acting was like a gym. I would go, I would do it because I like enjoyed it. But at the same time, it's very competitive in LA. I mean, everyone there wants to be an actress. The cab driver is there.
How is it here? Like, do you feel there should be more? Is there respect for the artist? You feel?
I think a bit more than, like, it's getting better, but not yet. I think they're still, they don't take you seriously when you say you're an actress here.
There's not enough structure here. That's a big problem. Whether in film or theater, it's getting better, there is structure being built, but it's still not enough. Yeah. It's very unstable. And for someone who just does this, it's so unstable.
Yeah, you can't just...
You struggle a lot.
What is your advice to aspiring actors such as yourself, or actresses, I should say?
I think the first thing is to get a formation. This is the first thing. If you like it, and even if you're like in your in the middle of your other career and you decide you want to be an actor, I think you should like really work on it. Don't just rely on talent.
Sorry, because people here think that if I'm pretty and I have a good voice, or I got this opportunity to be in like a small video, then now I can become an actress. And it's not that. Like us actors, like it's hard work.
It takes a lot more. It takes a lot more,
yeah.
When you think about, and I know you probably get this question a lot, when you think about major roles, and something very interesting that Yara said before the newscast was that when we think about major roles, and I was asking you about actresses' roles, you said, well, I tend to think about male roles. I don't know, what female roles, and then we talked about Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
So a female role that you'd like to play?
There are many great female roles, but I'm just saying sometimes I find a lot of challenges in the male roles.
And then I want to get to you on that one.
Yeah, I really like to play very psychologically complex characters. I also like comedy, which I find super hard.
Yeah.
But I like to play...
Comedy is very hard.
It's really hard. It's a challenge. But like we were saying, Naomi Watts in Mulholland Drive, for example, for me that character is like so subtle. It's amazing.
A masterpiece of a movie,
it's
a big
amazing.
one for it.
She's great.
And
of course, these characters are very interesting to play, but it's like, for more like the fun part, I would want to do like an action movie, like a Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, those are like the comic series.
Yeah, and you don't
something.
get to, it's hard to get them, but I mean, it's fun.
When we think about women, a lot of women still struggle to make an impact in our country. Lebanon is ahead of the curve in a lot of ways. What would be the advice to women who are out there trying to make a dream, trying to get a dream? Because it's not just the artistry and acting, but it's women in general in our societies, and this is part of, we're here to try to celebrate International Women's Day. And I know you've worked in Abu Dhabi on helping women with different projects and training. And so how do you compare, and what do we need in Lebanon?
Also here I did a lot of interviews, the documentary part for my play. With a lot of women. Actually, I think what we need here is to not be afraid to speak a bit louder, and not accept to be made small, because here when we are opinionated, we are called stubborn, because it makes people more comfortable when they call us as stubborn, not opinionated. And I think we should try really to say what we want unapologetically, and I think that's very important for all women. Ruba?
Last words?
For me, honestly, like a few days ago, I opened my diary, which I wrote like 10 years ago, and I was 15, and it said my dreams, and my first one was, I want to become an actress, I want to be a humanitarian, I want to do this and that. How am I going to do this? Step 1, 2, 3, you know? And it touched me.
And you've done all those,
and now I'm reading them, and I'm getting there. I haven't done everything, but I mean, for people who, like, I was 21 when I left Lebanon, and I always wanted, like, to pursue my dreams and feel like there's no limit to anything. So whoever has a dream or a passion, just follow it till the end, whatever it takes. Travel, go see what's out there, and come back and learn from different people, learn from different cultures. I think that's very important.
So unapologetically, be yourself, and go after what you want, and give it everything you have.
Time.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being with us. Yara, Nassar, Ruba, Zarour, the actresses, the lead actresses, I should say, of the movie Listen, Philippe Araktanji's last work, now playing across Lebanon in theaters. And on